So welcome back. So today we're going to be working on putting back together a Replica Eames chair I got from Craigslist. It was in decent shape, just needed some touch-ups and a little bit of cleaning. So took it all apart, got it all cleaned out, and now, well, we're putting it back together. The hardest thing that was taking it apart was really just kind of undoing the zippers that kind of belong to these cushions or go on these cushions. Now that we're putting it back together, you can see here we're working our way through getting the strings that connect the buttons on the front side to the back, and that kind of just keeps it nice and taut and keeps that button area looking clean. So here we're just kind of working our way, getting those strings through the cushions and then tightening them up and getting the plastic and the leather zipped up back together. And so there's three different sections here. There's the top section, basically the headrest area, the back section, and then there's the bottom seat. So you'll see here we're basically shoving a little metal rod that has a hole in it so that I can kind of like almost sew the strings back in through the cushion. And then I'll fashion in there the button to kind of keep it in place, and then turn it around, shove it through and get it through the plastic. And then on the back side, there's basically the same button that I can kind of use the string to tie it around there and then get it all nice and tight. The stuffing, like anything else, you got to just kind of shove it in there, work the zipper all the way through, just kind of take your time on that. And then as you can see, it all cleans up really nice and easy. Actually goes together pretty quickly, and I think it was well designed. I think this is how the original one is also, but seems to be pretty well made. The same thing with the bottom cushion, just kind of fish it. This one was a little more difficult because it's such a thicker piece, and basically the thing that I was using as my needle was really just a metal zip tie that I had fabricated into my needle per se. So the cushions themselves, I think on this little lower grade, the outside of it was kind of worn down and almost kind of falling apart, but it still did its job. The seat's still pretty comfortable, so I'm not going to mess with it too bad. I just need to get it kind of cleaned up, and which is the reason why I took it apart. And so now here we're getting the buttons, the last portions of these buttons put back together. And same thing, work with these zippers. I want to make sure I don't break it, because then I'll be in a bad position if I do break that. And then here, just kind of almost getting them back together, getting nice and tight so that the fronts look nice and clean. These items, these cushions are a kind of a hunter green. It looks really good on a basically dark almond brown wood. Here I'm just conditioning the leather back again, just kind of giving it some TLC, and I'm just kind of rubbing the conditioner by hand and then kind of wiping off the excess, and just like I said, getting it back to a good working order. I'm using microfiber cloth, kind of lint free, and now we'll work on it started to get a little cold, so I went back inside, got a jacket, but now we're working on the wood, and this didn't require a whole lot, again, just some cleaning. You'll see that they have these metal tabs that the leather backs just kind of slide right in it, so no real hardware needed. Just slide it in, and once you put everything back together, basically you can't really remove them while everything is back installed. So this was kind of the hardest, just making sure that it all kind of slides in neatly into where it needs to go. And then now we'll do the back on the top side, give it a nice little wipe with some cleaner and protectant, and some of that spray. I could probably go back through it once I get it all back together and just give it another clean, but for now this will do. Actually the top one seems to be backwards, because where the little things come together, you would prefer that it wasn't visible, and so on this one it seems to have been installed upside down, so I had to flip it, and you have to have this little seam visible on the top side. Kind of hard to tell here, but there's a small little seam there. Now we're going to put the hardware on it. You've got the brackets that tie right into. I think either way you put it kind of goes in the same on this one, so there was no wrong way. Get the bolts and screws nice and tight, And then we'll put the finishing touches. Then you can put the arms, same thing, just 2 screws down at the bottom, kind of holds it. And this section here is basically has steel, and then there's some rubber bushings right there before it touches the wood that kind of keeps it all from, I guess, scratching it. And then we'll put the bottom support portion. I am missing one section, so this thing wants to kind of slide on and off. It should have like another, basically like a C-clamp, and it will hold it in place. And so now we are done. We can now enjoy it and get some sick footage.